Live.
Good. Okay. All right, Shalom. First off, we'd like to give all praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makah, Kodash.
Like to give double honors to the apostles of GMS, who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Hashai in them. We like to give double honors to the Connecticut elders, okay, our big brothers. We like to say greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of the Heavenly Father in truth, all right? Which is Yahweh Yahushai, which is the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? Shalom. First off, I like to say Salak, just for edification's sake, I don't have my garment, so just wanted to put that out there. You got people on the comment boards, oh, you ain't wearing your garment on all that. So I'm just doing it because clear my conscience, but, put on garments rehearsing righteous acts and put it out there anyway. So anyway.
And Yahweh Shai said you're a Jew inwardly and not outwardly, so,
Wait, say it again,
Yahweh Shai said that we're and through Paul, he said that we are Jews inwardly, not outwardly. So,
All right. So, okay. So, as you can see with the title, what Apostle will read, Proving Esau's Edom. All right. So we're going to go into documents. We're going to go into articles, books, and of course scripture, right, to prove that the so-called white man is proving Esau's Edom, proving that the so-called white man is Esau in the scriptures, is the nation of Edom. I mean, first off, we can start by saying that Esau, and matter of fact, I'm going to get it real quick to start. It's in Genesis chapter, was it 35? I got it real quick, saying Esau's Edom. Esau is the father of the Edomites. I got it right. I got it right here.
Actually,
it might be a little dark though.
Oh, I forget.
Yeah, it's a little dark. Yeah. Okay. All right. So just to start off here, right? This is Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Okay. It says, "Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom." All right. And Esau in the Hebrew, like we always, like we always broke down, means what? Ishashua. All right. Wasted away is he, which talks about the skin pigmentation, which is the melanin, right? Excuse my words. Mm-hmm. The melanin, the skin pigmentation that is wasted away. So Esau means basically transparent skin, translucent skin that you can see through, basically. Okay. All right. So Esau, that's what it means in the Hebrew. Wasted away is he, his color, and who has no color on earth? Whose color is wasted away? Who has no melanin, so to speak? Who has no melanin on earth? Okay, it's the so-called white man. His name, that name, who is our wicked forefather brother, who is Esau. Okay, he is I'll just read it. Esau, who is Edom, he is Edom. Now to skip down to verse 8, it says, Genesis chapter 36, verse 8. "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir." All right, so just said that Esau is the father of Edomites. Esau is Mount Seir, which Mount Seir means hairy. We all know the so-called white man is a hairy animal. All right, that hairiness represents that beast in him, because he's the lowest. Like I said in Daniel, he's the basest of men, and he's a beast. Okay, and also, again, that Esau is the father of the Edomites. Remember, Esau's brother is Jacob, and we come from the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, which is Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Okay, so brother has a book called
was it Esau Edom?
He was Esau Edom. So brother Gabarba, priest Gabarba, is going to go into breaking a lot of that. He's going to do he has a lot of info. Now he has a lot of info we're going to pull up, and we're going to just bring out scriptures, And this is really coming from the order, it's from Yahweh Shai upon Apostle Tahar, because he put on the order we should go do more iconic shows. So we're going to tackle, proving who Esau is, man. Exposing that. Because why? Because you have a lot of things out there trying to point. You got a lot of sellouts and bought out organizations trying to push just black, still trying to put that black Hebrew that black Hebrew Israelite thing. There's no such thing as a black, you know what I mean? That thing, it doesn't exist. Okay, the so-called white man created this whole black and white thing. See, the Most High, how he did everything by wickedness and righteousness. All right, that's what it's really all about. Who's the wicked and who's the righteous? All right, the righteous are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the God's chosen people, the Most High's chosen people through His Son Yahweh Shai, and the wicked are the wicked ass the nation of Edom. The Edomites are the one, the red nation, the translucent see-through nation, who is the so-called white man. Okay, so without further ado,
Yeah, real quick. Is it possible brothers could find the end of all nations?
okay,
There's no ending to nations.
okay, what's how the scripture go?
There's no. I think that's in Numbers. The ending of
Ending of all
There's
nations.
no ending of any nations. I forgot where that's at.
I put ending in.
Yeah, the reason why I want to bring that up is because just like our apostle Tahar said, who was the apostle leader of Israel, he also said that we're also waking up you so-called white people, man, which you guys are the actual biblical Edomites, all right? Because what you people have to know is that there's no ending of nations in the scriptures. There's no nation that was done away with yet. All nations are still here, all right? And what we're here to do is we're here to wake up these so-called black Hispanic Americans and let you know that you're the Israelites, but we're also here to let our enemies know, okay, that what you so-called white people, that you are the Edomites, you are the biblical Edomites of the scriptures, man.
And like Apostle Tahar said, we were looking at a video. He said even Esau's waking up too. You know, so the brother's right in the spirit. You were even waking up, you damn devils. And then they're acknowledging, oh shit, we are the Edomites.
Yeah.
You know, some are in denial, but some are like, oh shit, we are.
Yep.
You can't deny it because your history proves you people are the devil, man.
Yep. And but we have information on secular history, which is we have information with the Wikipedia, and we also have information on this book. It's a book called "Who is Esau Edom?" All right, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring out some information describing who Esau is. But what I want to do first, let me get Genesis. Let me get 25. And let me get Genesis 25 and 24.
Genesis 25, 24.
Okay.
This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 24.
Matter of fact, start from 21.
21.
Slide.
Okay. You want to start from 19?
Okay.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac. Generations of Gene.
Yeah.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac.
Okay, so now when you go into the scriptures, all right, Isaac, all right, had two sons. Okay, Isaac. When you go back, matter of fact, when you go back to Abraham, Abraham had Isaac. But when you go into the scriptures, there's a chosen people, there's a chosen bloodline. All right, because Abraham had Ishmael first. All right, but the chosen seed was to be out of Isaac. Now Isaac, all right, had two sons. Okay, go on, brother.
Come. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham's sons. And Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife.
To see now what's going on is it's going to go into the story or the genealogy, or it's going to show you two nations, all right, that's going to be destined even to this day. All right, this is what this whole thing is about the beginning of somebody of one ruling and the end of somebody else ruling. Go ahead, brother.
Come. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived.
Meaning that she became pregnant. Go ahead.
And then when it goes into, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, which means I believe he went to the actual priest to talk to the priest about, look, can you cast a prayer for Rebekah because she's barren, she can't have kids, or to ask about her condition. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And it says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? She went to inquire of the Lord.
Okay, so now when we see the situation here, Rebecca was pregnant with two twins. All right, she was pregnant with two people. All right, and the scriptures are going to that. Go ahead.
And even when it says in the struggle, and the children struggle together within her. I mean, you know, like Apostle Gabar always says, Apostle Tahar, you got to extrapolate. I don't know if I'm saying the word right. You got to extrapolate. When you read the scriptures, you got to really envision it. You know, envision it the best you can. You know, we got great imagination, like a movie. So when it says, and the children struggle together within her, you know, and then Apostle Tahar did a great analogy, great video a few weeks ago talking about, man, you really got to imagine Jacob and Esau in Rebecca's room. They were really going at it, man. I mean, we were talking about an actual physical. That's why when Esau came out first, they were still fighting, and that's why Jacob he was grabbed, you know. They were really going at it, man. Because you have the two most dynamic forces. I mean, in one belly in the world, man, in the universe, you can say, man. You got the spirit of the righteous and the spirit of the wicked in this woman's room. So imagine the stuff she was feeling. She must have been going through immense pain, man. Okay, so it's the force of positive, the force of the negative, fighting, man. The good and the evil, you know, righteousness and wickedness. Okay, so it says.
So real quick, the word for struggle right there, and what is that in Genesis 25:21? The Hebrew word.
That's 22.
Yeah, the Hebrew word basically means to crush together, to oppress together. So they're both like it wasn't no regular you know when
like regular kicking.
Yeah, you know when babies kick and squirming, it wasn't a regular one. That's why she had to inquire of a priest, right? Because it was violent, you know.
Real violent in her stomach.
Remember, but basically they're trying to. Apostle Paul was breaking down. They were literally trying to kill each other. You know, can you imagine that? You know, they were trying to kill each other inside the womb. Okay, not like they were conscious. I'm going to kill you, but the spirit in them, it's the opposite force. It was this actual spirit of righteousness and actual spirit of wickedness inside her belly. So they're fighting, man. Killing each other.
The word it says to crush each other, to crush, to oppress, grievously oppress.
Yeah, like,
you know,
pound and boom. You know?
Yep.
So like even again, like, so imagine, like, you see it now, like, you imagine her stomach was moving.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
She was in immense pain. Okay. So it says and children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And that's the kicker. Two manner of people are going to be separated from our foremother's bowels, man. All right, and we see that this is. Matter of fact, keep going.
And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Okay, and that's what this whole existence, the whole world of this movie is based upon, man. One shall serve the other, okay? And that's going on even up to this day, all right? Because one people is completely diverse, like the elder was saying, from another people.
I got you real quick.
Yep.
Prove. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 12. It says, let me see. It says,
11.
I want to start 11, but I can start 9, right?
9,
Yeah. Okay. Romans chapter 9, verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, verse 11, for the children being not yet born.
And that children is talking about Jacob and Esau, okay? Because this happened through this was ordained through the Spirit. That's why I said when it says the elder shall serve the younger. This whole world, this whole existence is based upon the premises of Esau and Jacob and Esau. But it was already ordained in the spirit world. Go ahead, brother.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to the election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Now, what's the purpose of the Heavenly Father? The purpose of the Heavenly Father is to show two manner of people. One manner of people are righteous, and one manner of people are completely wicked. Now the question is, this is what we're trying to find out. Who is the true righteous people and who's the true wicked people? All right? Because there's a major confusion going on in this whole world, man. Having people, because the devil, all right, covered the casting, has a veil over the whole world, man, and a veil over the people. All right? That people don't know who the wicked is and people don't know who the righteous is, man. There's a major confusion. So the Lord has sent out his prophets to break down the strongholds, man. And one of the strongholds is we're going to reveal to you people and we're going to reveal to the world who the wicked of the Bible are and who they are today. Go ahead, brother.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Now we're going to find out who the elder is. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Now, you know, Jacob, all right, is the progenitor, all right, of you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, man. Because Jacob had 12 sons, all right? And it said, now Esau, and we're going to prove it to you, all right, that Esau is a so-called white race. We have documentation, we have secular history, all right, and we can prove it to you first and foremost through the scriptures, man.
Prophecy.
Yeah, prophecy and everything else. Good, brother.
It says, Salah, verse 22, Genesis chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Because she wanted to know why, all right, is she going through, is she feeling the struggle between the twins? Because Rebecca didn't really fully understand what was going on, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she had to go inquire to the Lord, which is the priest or prophet of the Lord.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Now the question is, what does nation mean? You Slack here, brother. You want to go into nation real quick?
What's that?
The word.
Yeah, look
what
up the word
verse?
nation. This is
Genesis chapter 25, verse 23.
Oh, okay.
just to get edification real quick.
Don't you read?
Yeah, keep reading.
It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated.
See, 2 manner of people. Now, what does that mean, 2 manner of people? People of total opposites, man. Okay? Now, let's be, what we're doing here, we're explaining to you that who's total opposites, all right, in this world today. Okay, well, what's the big, you know, what nation of people, all right, are constantly clashing, even up to this day?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's in the scriptures. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and 2 manner of people should be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Okay, and the so-called Black Native Americans, all right, are the strongest people on the planet, man. There's no other people that's stronger than the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Americans. Go ahead, brother.
And that means that not necessarily physical, you know. I mean, obviously physical, but we mean even that's the last thing.
Yeah.
There's 3 ways you can break it down: physically, but also mentally, because we have a high intellect. We're very smart people. Like there's many books that go into what black inventors, right? Which goes back to so-called blacks were Israelites, right? Obviously, so a lot of the stuff you see out here, which is countless information, we created everything you see around us, man. And that's kind of being revealed a lot right now on the internet. You've been seeing a lot of stuff, not even deal with GMS cancer, but other people just breaking down all the inventions that came from so-called blacks.
Yep.
Okay, and it's a lot. People still learning. Wow, they did this. The computer processor, the first heart surgeon, first plasma surgery, the first refrigerator.
Yeah.
You know,
AC.
I mean, we're talking about some big things that you use in your home, and Jake don't get no credit for.
Light bulb.
Yeah, light bulb. See, and that's why the scriptures say they make no account for his labors. You know, that's a labor. Israel worked for all these things that happen in society, and we're considered dumb, stupid, ghetto.
Right.
That's what proves the so-called woman's the devil. And then he stole what we created and took it as his as a patent.
Yeah.
That's the devil, man. And that's a struggle to this day. There's still a struggle going on between 2 nations of people, 2 men of people, man. Okay, and we're gonna prove to you people, okay, that the struggle that's going on in the scriptures between Jacob and Esau is still going on up to this day, and that Jacob is the so-called Black Native Americans, and Esau, Edom, is the so-called white race, man. And we're gonna prove that today.
And so, like, I'm sorry. So we prove physically, right? We don't even need to go through how physically we're superior.
Right.
It's obvious. All right. And then mentally, we just talked about black inventors, all the stuff we created, right? And then not even like you got Ephraim too. Ephraim, all the tribes, you know, they all created things, man.
Yeah.
You know, all and also even like with music, musically inclined. No one are musically inclined like the children of Israel. Ephraim and Judah, when they first got here to the Americas, they were both involved with jazz. Latin jazz. Ephraim was into blues too.
Hip hop,
all that. It was Judah and Ephraim that proved they're the head tribes because they always were together. Judah and Ephraim have a close relationship, man. Because why? You see a lot of Judah get with Ephraimite. You know, that's common amongst them. You know, that proves they're the top two tribes, and the most important thing, they're the most influential tribes. You know, out of Judah, they're the most influential overall. You know, and then Ephraim, they're influential too to the Latin tribes. Okay. And then spiritually, the last point, which spiritually we're more physically, we have a better fortitude, a stronger mind. We can deal with oppression and deal with being oppressed and still have a smile on our face, so to speak. Like Tupac said, and it's one of his songs with Mama made every Thanksgiving great or something like that, out of 10 cents or something. Yeah. And still be happy.
Yeah, make $1 out of 10. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we live. But you see Esau, with the government shutdown and all the stuff that happened, they committed suicide. Yeah. Because now they instead of making $100,000 a year, they make $60,000. Yeah. Okay. But that's the point. And another point, stronger spiritually too, because in our these neighborhoods where Jake dwelled, you see nothing but churches, and they have that zeal. They have that zeal of the Lord, like no other nation.
I got that. That's Romans 10:2. It says, "For I bear record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge." So that's the only thing that our people as a whole lack. We don't lack the spiritual aspect because it's proven. You know, we as a people, you so-called Negroes, or so-called Latinos, and Native Americans, we're a very spiritual people. That's another way how you can determine who's an Israelite as well. Yeah. I know it's a big thing when the apostle said, "Oh, if you could dance, you could sing." Oh, well, you know, you niggas got all up in arms about that, but that's true. If a brother could dance, a brother could sing, it's a very good possibility he's an Israelite. Yeah. Another one is his spirituality. You know, as a people, we're a very spiritual people. It's the only thing that's off is that we are spiritual with bullshit. You know, like false gods. You know, we're the ones that flock to the churches. You know, so that's you know, a little tidbit.
Come. It says so we explain the manner. So two manner people should be separated from thy bowels.
Now what's the just like it and the manner? It said two manner people. So we showed you the manner of the so-called black Americans, which is Jacob. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep on reading.
Okay. Yeah, and the one people, and the one people shall be stronger. We just proved that. And the one people shall be stronger than the other. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Right? We just proved it 3 different ways. And it says, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Now we're going to find out who the elder is, and we're going to find out who the younger is.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Okay, so it said the first came out all red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right? So it said that the elder shall serve the younger. So we know that what? That the elder is going to be serving the younger. Now we're going to find out and we found out that the elder is Esau. So we're going to find out who actually Esau is. All right, this is a book called Who is Esau Edom? This is chapter 1 on page 5, right?
Who's it written by?
Written by Charles A. Wiseman. All right, and it says right here, to help answer the question of who Esau Edom, the first necessary step is to examine the racial and genealogical history of Esau and his descendants. The life and history of Esau. Esau was the firstborn of Isaac. We just read that. The elder shall serve the younger. Esau was the firstborn of Isaac, and thus was heir to the birthright derived from the direct racial lineage of Adam to Noah to Abraham. Thus Esau was racially an Adamite, a Shemite, and a Hebrew. The racial stock of the white race. Let me read that again. Esau was the firstborn of Isaac, and thus was heir to the birthright derived from the direct racial lineage of Adam to Noah. Now, they're right, because by the law, the firstborn is supposed to receive the blessing. All right, but we read in Romans 9:11, it says, the children be not yet born, neither have it done any good or evil. That what? That the
calling of election. What was it? You read it?
Yeah, you want to read it again? Slack you.
Okay. What was it? 9 and
9 and 11.
Right. This is Romans 9 and 11. It says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth."
See, so it says, according to election might stand. This is where this controversy starts between these two people, man. Two nations of people. Because these Edomites know that they were supposed to receive that blessing, man. So this is why they have the problem with the Most High.
They're trying to get it back.
They're trying to get it back because they feel that the Heavenly Father robbed them, man. Okay? Because this is already done in the spirit. So this is the great controversy that's going on to this day between these two nations of people, man.
And more in the spiritual concept, you know, be really more deeper in the spirit, not more in the outwardly, because they're just devils doing what they do, and they do know the truth. Yeah. But like you said, it's more of even a deeper spiritual thing in them that they're trying to get that birthright back, you know. But they're natural devils. All right. I was gonna say something for that. Okay. Go back to the verse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says
The elders have said, man.
Okay. It says, verse 24, "And when her days were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau."
Red all over like a hairy garment. Now, what does that mean? Like Apostle Hart said, it doesn't mean that he came out hairy as a baby. When you go back in those times, when it says red all over like a hairy garment, the garments that they used to have was red. Okay, they used to dye the goat hairs and dye red dyed garment. So what they were describing is the fact that the baby, Esau, was just red all over. They never see that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right, man. And that takes some meditation to think about that. You know, like that's not really explained. You know, that's part of the mystery. And it's right here in Genesis, you know. We're calling out the verse, we're breaking it down to you. And again, that's why it's important to have the King James Version Bible, man. The KJV directly goes back to the Septuagint, and it's a direct translation from the Septuagint, that the Septuagint was basically means the 70, which were the 70 priests. 70 priests, there are 70 priests that translated the Hebrew scrolls, okay, into the Greek. Why? Because the Septuagint comes from the Greek Empire, and Alexander the Great, when he had the Alexandrian Library, you had all your top philosophers at that time, had all the latest things represent their society at the time, like all knowledge. So it was like a place of knowledge where people will share ideas, mathematics, philosophies, and they had a library too, you know, maps, artifacts, stars, whatever, you know, and they had a lot of stuff in those libraries, man. And one of them was what Alexander the Great wanted to do. He wanted to take all the other nations' knowledge and translate it and have everybody's knowledge. And that's what happened. But through certain wars, everything was destroyed. But guess what? The Bible was preserved. Yeah. So you see how the Lord preserved the scriptures, man, through all these years. That's why nobody believes it. It's written by man and all that. But look, it's of course it had to be. Well, that's another subject. But I'll just say that the Most High preserved this truth, and it derives strictly from the Septuagint, which is there's no there's no fillers. Okay, it's a straight translation. All right, from the Hebrew to the Greek and to the Latin. And that's where you got the King James Version, because why? At that time, around 1611 and prior, right, the 15th and 14th centuries, you always had all major kingdoms. Their point was to get other knowledge and translate it through their language. Yep. You know, all kingdoms did that. You know, so when King James, who by the way is a so-called black man, who was an Israelite, he translated the Bible from the Greek to the Latin, I believe. Okay. From the Greek to the Latin, and I gotta check that. Maybe from Latin.
I think it's the Latin too.
Maybe Latin. We'll maybe double check that. But he translated the scriptures, I believe, into the Latin. We'll double check that. Okay. I don't know if it's. He translated the scripture in 1611, and that was his edition. All right, under his rulership. All right. Yeah, so that's why it's important to have this, because you get any other Bibles will say something. Actually, in the other Bibles, new edition, it says, "I still love Esau" or something like that. You know, that's totally off.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so it says, and were her days, it's like, where was that, verse 25?
Yeah.
And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Right, and what I was reading before is Esau, going back to the book, who was Esau, Edom, that says a life and history of Esau. It says Esau was the firstborn of Isaac, and thus was heir to the birthright derived from the direct racial lineage of Adam to Noah to Abraham. Thus Esau was racially an Adamite, a Shemite, and a Hebrew, the racial stock of the white race. So the racial stock of the white race, your biblical name is Edom. Okay, and how can we prove that? We're going to keep going.
It says, and after that came his brother out. Read that again. And first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out. Read it again. And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Now the question is, why didn't they describe what his brother looked like? Okay, the reason why they didn't describe what Jacob looked like is because everybody on the planet had something called melanin.
Yeah, that
color. Right? They had color. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
Jacob. And when Jacob held Esau's heel, that was symbolical, man. Symbolical to the end of this world. Now, when we talk about the end of the world, like a lot of people here are saying the world's coming to an end, the world's coming to an end, it doesn't mean the earth is going to be destroyed. What we're talking about is going to be a different rulership. Let me get Job 9:24 real quick.
Come.
In side note, it was translated from Greek to Latin.
Okay.
So in the New Testament, Old Testament was Hebrew. Was translated from Hebrew to
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. From Hebrew. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Come. And the you said what? The New Testament.
And the New Testament was from
Greek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
Job 9:24.
Job 9:24.
Yeah, because what we're gonna do is, because that whole thing, matter of fact, hold that and let me get okay, let me get 2nd Ezra 6 and 8.
Oh, you want it? Okay.
Because that whole thing is symbolical, man, and it talks about that in the scriptures. It was a reason why Jacob held Esau's heel, man. It wasn't just for show. It wasn't just for one, they were struggling, but the Lord ordained this through the Spirit the whole time. The whole world is based upon these two nations of people, man. It's just like how the apostles would say. Okay, it's like two main characters. You got the good guy and the bad guy, and you got the extras. The other nations are the extras, but the main two characters are these people, Jacob and Esau. Now, Jacob, like we said before, is the progenitor of these so-called Black Spastic Americans. Now, it's not a big mystery or a big surprise that our arch enemy of you so-called Black Spastic Americans are these so-called white people that conquered you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because basically what's happened now, the brother is absolutely right through the Spirit. It's obvious. Look at how the so-called white man treats the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, and the Native Americans. The so-called Native Americans, the so-called blacks, the so-called Latinos, they're a Jacob. We're the 12 tribes, and look how they treated in this society. We have been oppressed. All the Latin tribes are really you can't really say Latin because all those Latin tribes that go back to indigenous people in the islands, the Arawak and Taino Indians, which are the Ephraimites, Zebulon, all the Manasseh, right? All those islands, and you have North American Indians, Seminole Indians, okay. All those people, they've been oppressed. Look what happened to the Native Americans, them being wiped out. So it's obvious to show you that they've always been a rift. There's always been enemies, and it still goes on to this day. All right, look how we are treated in society. Look at the reservations of the Native Americans. Look, they've been. Oh, look what happened. The MAGA situation.
The MAGA situation.
Okay, so that's a perfect example that Native Americans still don't get no kind of respect in the land that was theirs first. This is spiritual. That proves that they're the children of Israel. And look how the Latin tribes are being treated. Who fills up the jail cells? The Latinos, so-called Latinos, and the so-called blacks. Look what they're doing to our brothers, the tribe of Issachar, which are the Mexicans. They're always in the news every day. They're always belittled in society. They're always looked up as, bywords. And now they're trying to build a wall, this whole wall controversy that Trump's doing. So it's obvious that Esau, the so-called white man, is not with, the nation of Israel. You want Job 9:24? Okay. This Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, He covers the faces of the judges thereof.
Now it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So like it, brother, can we get 2 Ezra 6 and 8 real quick?
Right. I'll start at 7.
Mm-hmm.
It says 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, and when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
Now the end of the first and the beginning of the followeth, the Apocrypha is going to explain through the Spirit who the end of what and the beginning of what. Go ahead, brother.
It says, verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Going back to what I was saying, there was symbolical. There's a reason why Jacob held Esau's heel, man. Okay, because basically what that's going to show one people controlling the world and being taken out of control, man. Okay, being taken out of their seat.
Yeah.
It says, for verse 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So we know that Esau is the end of the world. Okay? And through the scriptures, we know that who's running the world right now. The brother read in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. But we know that what? Esau is running the world right now. How do we know that we're at the end of the world? Because we got these Edomites running the world. Okay? And it says that Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's why Jacob held Esau's heel. Okay? Because Jacob is going to yank Esau out of his rulership, man.
Yeah, because what's Jacob's name in the Hebrew is Yaquab. All right? And Yaquab means to take over, or to supplant. Really, supplant means to take over. You know, to
switch.
To switch or to revolve. Like a revolver. A revolver is like a supplanter. It goes one position.
Yeah.
You know, from one position it flips over. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's supplant, to take over. So yes, that symbolizes that this nation of Israel, which are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we will be taking over and pulling down the so-called white man from his power seat, man. To this by the spirit of Yahweh Shemai Shai, according to biblical prophecy. Okay, you see right now all the camps opening up. You know, his kingdom is already fallen. Yeah. He's already having difficulty, man. That's why Esau's gonna lose it and bring that Jacob's trouble. It's like a little kid having a tantrum. Yeah. And when he knows it's basically over, he's just gonna fucking go all out to try to, to save his kingdom. He's gonna kill everybody now. Because he knows he's going down, he's gonna try to take everybody down with him.
If I gotta go, it's like Biggie say, if I gotta go, you gotta go. And that's a devil for you. Now, mind you, through the spirit, right? Through the spirit, as Esau's world is being taken down, is crumbling to an end.
That's right.
How is it? What's the coincidence, right, of Israelites waking up throughout the whole world?
That's scripture too. So that's his morning. The scripture say that's his night is our morning. Basically, that scripture, so they give that analogy. You know, his night, which is the night represents his downfall, is the kingdom of Israel's morning. Our morning is the beginning of our kingdom, which is going to go on forever, like the brother was bringing out.
Because another rulership is being transitioned right in front of your people's faces right now, man. Two different type of rulers. Okay, you're seeing these people. Okay, it's not a coincidence. All right, that we're doing a video on showing what the biblical name of the white nation is, or the white race is, man. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that we look all over the world. Okay, these white people or this white race is hated among all the nations. Okay, because there's a reason. Okay, it's not a coincidence that the people are finding out who the wicked is, man. All right, when you go to all these other countries, they're finding out who the wicked is because they're raped, robbed, and murdered of all these other countries. All right, are being exposed, man. All right, that America, these so-called white people, are not the people that are here to liberate you.
Yeah. Look what they're doing, Venezuela.
Okay, right now Venezuela is in darkness, man. And whose fault is that? Yeah, the so-called white race, man.
Yeah. They trying to take it. You know, they're trying to take it so easy. They're trying to take it over. So they're trying to, install their own puppet leaders so they can control. Why? For their natural resources, John 10 and 10. That's how we know who Esau is, man. Because there's a description of Esau in the Bible. Plenty of them in the Bible, man. But that's just one of them, John 10 and 10.
Well, describes as devil, a thief. So we know he's a damn devil because of his attributes, man. You know?
And then I'm reading you're going into, you're breaking down 2 Ezra 6 and 7, right? And it says, it's, let me read that part again. It says, verse 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The end of the world, does that mean the destruction of the planet, the planet Earth? No. That word is, Eon, right? Which is what? An age. Okay, so how do we know that Esau can be done away with before the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans come into rulership? Esau is going to be ruling, and then he's going to be taken out in the end of their time of rulership. So that's how we know we're at the end, and that's how we know Esau is not done away with, man. Because you know, a vocab, and all the niggas try to say Esau is done away with. If
look at the word,
it's not true, man. That's why they don't want to get. That's why vocab. I don't even want to bring this nigga up. Spirit. That's why they don't want to deal with.
Well, he's an Edomite.
He's an Edomite. Excuse me. That's why you Edomites, Mr. Bison, you damn German Edomite, right? German roach. That's why people like you and people like that go by the name of the Bible Destruction Group don't want to deal with the Apocrypha, man, because it reveals you, man.
Yeah, clearly. A lot of things are revealed.
Clearly, right? So let me read this real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. It says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof." Right? And the end of what? The end of our punishment. The end of Esau's rulership. That's where we're reaching. We're reaching the end of our rulership. The end of Esau's rulership, man. Just like it says in Ezra 6 and 7. It says Esau is the end of the world. So we're at the end point right now, man. And that's why Esau, you can see, just like it says in the scriptures, Esau is scrambling, man. Revelation 12 and 12. He's trying to rush. And what happens when you rush things? It doesn't work, man. You fuck up, you start tripping up. Okay? So that's why it is exciting, man. You know? We're seeing Esau, he's scrambling to save his puny, decrepit, wicked kingdom, man. But the Most High, we can see it, the Most High is taking them down, man. Systematically. Right?
Actually, I got it. Actually, you mentioned that. You just mentioned that, right? Let me get something for you. This is Matt. You speak. I gotta look for it.
Right, and it's a beautiful thing, and that's why we know you damn white people, you are the Edomites, man, and that's what we're proving through the scriptures. That's what we're proving through articles. Okay, we're proving who Esau is, man. Esau's still here. It tells you in the Bible dictionary, the Edomites in Edom is a place and people of great future judgment, man. So if that's such if this is if Esau's destruction or the people of Esau, or the place that Esau dwells, is going to be it's going to take a very prominent place in the Bible, or it's a very important time period in the Bible. If Esau was done away with, we would know that by now, man. We would know that. That would be a very important big place in history. Okay, because that's the only nation that's pointed out specifically by the Most High of a place of great future judgment, man. Okay? So Esau is not done away with. And also, Jacob is not ruling right now. Okay? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're still under captivity under the Edomites. Okay? Under the so-called white race. So that's how we know that Esau is not done. That's how we know Esau is not done away with. And that's how we know who Esau is. Okay? All right? Through what? Through prophecy. Okay?
Okay, I got something for you. Yeah. This is okay. It's Luke chapter 17, verse 6. It says, "And if the Lord said, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye might say unto this sycamore tree, be the." You know what? Can you? There's another one though. So I don't know. There's another one. I remove many mountains. I think that's in John.
Let me read. Damn. Fucking Satan, fuck with my computer. The brother made a good comment here. Let me see if I can read it. Let me see.
This says it different.
Proving is Esau's Edom. The brother, we got next Mac. He said if Esau was done away with, the world wouldn't be suffering. And you exactly right, my brother. Esau wouldn't be suffering. That's Proverbs 29 and 2. It says when the wicked beareth rule. Let me get that real quick when them brothers get what they're looking for. Proverbs 29 and 2. This is really the only scripture you need to prove who's in rulership. Okay? If you need one scripture to back up the wicked are ruling or the devil is in rulership, this is it right
Okay,
here.
yeah, that's it, yeah.
This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." And that's how we know we're not rejoicing right now, because the righteous aren't ruling.
Yeah.
If Esau wants to say that, oh, they're such a great people, they rule correctly, right? We are the righteous people of the Bible. If that's true, why is the world in disarray? Why is there wars and rumors of wars happening all over the planet Earth? That's how we know Esau is still alive and they're still in rulership, because it is one scripture right here. It says, once again, Proverbs 29:2, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." Right? We're obviously not in rejoice right now. Okay? All over the world, it's pure mayhem. Why? Because we got a devil in rulership.
And it's worse than you think, man. There's a lot of I mean,
A lot of wickedness going
on in Venezuela right now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, man, when you talk about cannibalism, I mean, what can get worse than that, man? And like now, brothers bringing out what is a blackout going in the past 2 days.
Imagine that now.
I mean, so you know what's going on right now. Once the nights break, then it's massive raping, death, and ain't no goddamn Captain Marvel saving Venezuela, man. What is mighty women out in Venezuela?
Exactly.
That shit is a total myth, man.
Yeah,
you women will be you will realize what you are very soon. I mean, Venezuela they do, and Haiti they know what they are now. And you fucking proud of American women, man. You American devils of women, man. You're gonna realize what the hell you are very soon too, man. All right, worse than Venezuela, worse than Haiti, man.
Don't be fooled.
Yeah, don't be fooled. Right, that blue-eyed, blonde-haired, 5'4" captain, whatever you are, Captain Ho. That's what you are, man. You know. Anyway,
let me finish this. It says, verse 2. I'll read 2 again. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn."
And right now, the whole world is in mourning right now, man. Even down from the animals, the people, everybody's in mourning. Okay, especially the children of Israel, man. All right, really, the electors in mourning, even though the all of Israel's in mourning right now, because they don't know that they're, 2/3 don't even know that they're, that they're the Israelites, and if they do, they just can't receive it. All right, and they're in the projects. Even if you, like Floyd Mayweather, you're being oppressed, man. You might not think that you're being oppressed, but you're being oppressed, man. Because guess what? Yeah, because the perfect example, right? You got Bill Cosby, all right? He's 80 years old under the jail, man. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Okay, look at R. Kelly, look at all these, look at all these other Israelite men that they're trying to put in jail. But how many of you Edomite fucking pedophiles, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, are raping little children? Why isn't them damn captive priests under the jail?
Well, first of all, to exploit, make Jake look bad. They always have an opportunity to make Jake look bad. They're gonna do it. Plus, what's happening now? You sellouts, you fucking faggot ass demonic sellouts that have a conscience now, and they want to kind of get, that's what happened to DMX. You try to find the Lord, and once you sell your soul, that's it, man. You ain't coming back. Selling your soul and giving your spirit up to the so-called white man and doing his demonic deeds, you're finished. Even if you repent, that's good, but you're gonna die.
You're still gonna die.
You're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna die. Because you sold your soul, all right. You went against the Most High. You did demonic sacrifices, man. All right, and then another thing too, the reason why they set them up is because they probably got a conscience and try to go against the agenda and not follow orders. And what did they do to you? They set you up. They bribe you, and if you don't go with their program, you don't want to do it anymore. You want to be a Mason or you don't want to be an Illuminati member or a secret society member, right? They'll take you out like Tupac, man. They'll take you out like Christopher. What's that dude from Fast and the Furious? Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
They'll take you out like they'll expose you. They'll do it's always no coincidence. It's always sexual. Damn, I always forget the word, man. Sexual scandals.
Sexual scandals.
They always get you by sexual scandals, and always deal with like raping an underage woman or something like that. So it's the scandals, and they try to defame you, and not defame you. They try to demonize you. So R. Kelly, what happened to Bill Cosby? He was the man in the 80s, man, the 80s and the 70s. He had someone. He actually tried to buy NBC, and he went against against the rule of the of that society.
Yeah, but you're a nigga.
Yeah. No, you.
No, I was gonna say which is you're not a ruler of this world. Okay, you're not supposed to be taking part of this rules of this world.
Exactly.
Okay, you're supposed to play your position, which is a nice coon.
Yeah, just stay. You're supposed to stay on a certain level, man.
Yeah.
Don't get too cocky. Even though you're making money, you're still you still underneath us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to have Jake to have too much power.
Because if you look at some of these interviews, man, I looked at Arcade a little bit finally. I didn't look at, but they speak in code. Like you hear had a little rampage. Like, yo, why don't you just leave me alone? Leave me alone. Because he was talking to the elites.
Yeah.
He was talking to the secret societies.
Mm.
Even Michael Jackson, he would have secret messages. Like, oh, remember there was a video. Remember that dance at the end of one of his videos, Michael Jackson?
Didn't really care about this.
I think no, was it black and white or was it
Doesn't
black?
matter if
No, it was
black
black and white. Yeah, at the end of black and white video
Mm-hmm.
came out like in '92. Michael there's a thing he does like a little dance thing at the end when he's breaking the windshield wipe. He's breaking the car.
Yeah.
He's breaking the windows to the car. And I think that in the front of the car was a swastika. So he had a crowbar, broke the windshield, right? Because all these things there were symbolic messages. It was he had a fight between him and his superiors, and he didn't want to follow their orders no more. And Michael Jackson, he was a high warlock, but he had a conscience. His conscience went back all the way to Billie Jean. If you look at the Billie Jean song, deals with actually the spirit Satan, the demon spirit Satan, choosing him to be the greatest performer of all time. And he didn't want it, but he went along with it. And that's why they killed Michael Jackson, because he would share a lot of shit against him. Remember the other song, They Don't Really Care About Us?
Yeah, that's
you know?
They don't me. Yeah.
Yep. He was always, so if you go against they'll kill you, explode death, expose you. That's how they do.
And then
It's good for them because you know he was raping little boys and they all do that. But if you don't go with the program, they expose you.
And what he did too, he said I forgot the dude that owns Sony, but he said in a conference, he said he's a devil.
Yeah, he is.
All right, and that's what we're telling you people, that what the so-called white man, all right, the white race, they're devils. All right, if you come from this Edomite stock, all right, which it says in the book and it says in the scriptures that the Edomite race, when you go to Charles A. Wiseman, is the white stock. Okay, the Edomites are the white stock or the white race. Okay, or the white nation. That's you so-called white people, man. And this is what we're telling you. We're just telling you the truth. Okay, all of you Edomites, every last one of you, from down to Joe's six-pack, okay, to the ones that say, oh, well, we had nothing to do with it, okay, to you people in the news reports, to your regular, to the highest elites, all right, all of you guys are going to slavery. And matter of fact, to keep it real with you, not one Edomite in America is going to survive. They're going to be a great sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
All right?
Sacrifice in Basra. That's what it said. Great sacrifice in Basra.
Yeah.
Con. Okay. Con, I have a scripture for you because you said the international bankers or the elites that have the infightings, so-called white man, they're not, they're making it, right?
Yeah.
So this is Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Okay? Now that's a kind of a deep allegory statement, but I read it again. Because of your unbelief, now this is when the disciples came to Yahushua and said, look, how come we couldn't cast out that devil, that demonic spirit at this little child? And the Lord said, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, right? A grain of mustard seed is very small. It says, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place. Now that's talking about the mountain represents the actual governments. Okay, it's not talking about a physical mountain. You have faith you could actually move a mountain. It's talking about the faith means that we could actually break down governments. The belief in Yahweh Shema Shai and the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai, which befalls on the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Anything that goes with that, if you believe in that, prophesy in the spirit of the Lord, this truth that the Lord has put in us will break down countries and kingdoms, man. And this truth, starting with the apostles of GMS, okay, and brothers bringing out this truth of Yahweh Shema Shai, we're breaking down, starting with the international bankers, man, the Rothschilds. They're having difficulties. They're having great difficulties bringing in their New World Order agenda. It ain't easy. And they're scrambling, like the brother's saying through the scriptures. And when you scramble, you make mistakes. Okay, so our faith and how do we break them down? All through the Spirit of the Lord. And we're a big problem to them, man. Even this video, revealing who they are, bringing out prophecies. We're messing up we're a wrench in their plans. through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yep. Can I read this real quick? This is Isaiah 13:1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Verse 2, lift ye up a banner upon a high mountain. Right? It's mentioned the mountain. Right? And that banner, the banner is what? The Bible, man. And with these words that are broken down to us by a storm with our apostles, a GMS, we are able to be a pest onto this government America.
Yeah.
Right? Let me read it again. It says, lift ye up a banner upon a high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. So that's how this society is going to be broken down through the words and power. In truth. That's how this country America is going to be brought down by truth. Okay, which is what the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
And the truth is, the so-called white man, you're the devil, man.
Yep. And part of that truth is revealing who the devil is.
Yeah,
man.
who the wicked is.
Not only showing you who the true biblical Israelites are, but showing who the devil is, man.
Yeah.
And all his works. That's why it says in Isaiah 40. See, Isaiah got a lot of prophecy. That's why I said Isaiah 47. It says lifting up the skirts. Okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're revealing all the wickedness of America, all the wickedness of Esau, and we're proving, just like the title, who Esau is.
Esau's Edom.
Yep.
Come on. It says, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence yonder to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. You see that? So when you have the true faith of Yahweh Shem Shai, there's nothing that's going to stop us, man. We have a great power behind us, and nothing's going to be impossible to do. This word is bringing down the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai through his prophets are literally bringing down this current setup in this world, man. Which it starts from the international bankers. All right, that was it.
Because I wanted. So now,
okay.
Let's go back to
Genesis.
Because I want to go into modern day jury too, because you just said that that the bankers are running everything, right?
I don't. You want me to go back? Okay. Well, you got it, bro.
So go back to Genesis, and we'll go to and the first came out already Harry, and then you go back to second Exodus 6.
Okay. Genesis chapter 25, verse 25, and they first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Okay. Go into second Exodus 6. Looks like it, brother.
Wait, 6?
Yeah, because it said that Jacob held the heel.
Right. It says, verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yeah, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, because that's representing two powers. Okay. The two rulerships. One rulership is going to be taken out. It's going to be taken out by force. Okay, one son is going to rule the world, and another son is going to rule the world. All right, and by Jacob holding the heel, okay, of Esau, it means that they're going to be taken out of their rulership by Jacob. Go ahead, brother. No.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Verse 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So it says, for Esau is the end of the world. And this is what we're getting to, because we have to find out who Esau is.
Yeah, we just look at the word too, remember?
Yep. Now, who's the world be running? We just read in Job 9:24, it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Then second Ezra 6 and 9 says Esau is the end of the world. Then we went to history of a book by Charles A. Wiseman. It says that Esau is the stock of the white race. Now I got this other information real quick, right? It says here, this was in this. Now it's pretty hard to probably find this, but if anybody can get this, this is in the Jewish Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Of 925 edition, volume 5.
And I gotta say this too. Besides that book, who's Esau's Edom, proves that what I just read, Matthew 17 verse 20, that if you have faith as great as mustard seed, you should remove mountains. Now, I remember when I first got on camp, 11 years ago, right? We used, and even not even that, even during the years, if you typed in Esau in the computer, you wouldn't see, they wouldn't reveal who it is. Like you could type in Esau, it wouldn't say it's so-called white man. But now you type in Esau, it's saying it's Edom.
It's saying it's Edom.
Why? Because that's the spirit of the Lord revealing them, man.
Yeah.
Before you couldn't really find out, and now it's kind of it's out there. Why? Because the Lord uses prophets start with the apostles of GMS to bring this truth out, man.
Yep.
You know, I remember even the brother Elder Sabar, right, one of the brothers, right, he did a show, a great show a few months ago, or maybe a year ago, typing in like when you first got in camp, when the apostles first hit the YouTube on 07, you typed in Yahweh Shai, you wouldn't get nothing. Now you type in Yahweh Shai, you see all this stuff happening, you know, on the YouTube, you know. So the Lord's, you know, his works are working. You know?
Yeah.
And that's how you know this is the truth, because it tells you in Matthew 24, when this gospel is spread throughout the earth, then the end is near, or end shall come.
Oh, the end shall come, right? The end of who? The end of somebody's world. Now, real quick, right? So this is in your encyclopedia, Jewish. Then mind you, I said Jewish encyclopedia. So who's writing this? Jewish people, right? Or so-called white people, right? This is the Jewish Encyclopedia 1925 edition. Now check what it says. It says, from then on, Edomites constituted a part of the Jewish people. Herod being one of the descendants, the Standard Jewish Encyclopedia, it said 1966, Doubleday and Company, Inc., Gardine Street, New York, page 592. It says, why does the Jewish Encyclopedia mention that Edom is in modern Jewry? Okay, it says that is their own writings, not the clan. It says Edom is in modern Jewry in the Jewish Encyclopedia of 1925, volume 5, page 41. Okay, so it says what? It says that Edom is modern day Jewry, which is you fake kikes. Okay, you fake Jews over there, man. All right, you Jewish people, which are the bankers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts. All right, because really when you go back to Rothschild, what does it mean? It means red shield. Now when you go back to Esau, Esau is described as what? Being red all over like a hairy garment.
And even further, shield. The word shield goes back to the word child.
Wow.
Because a child's supposed to be the shield to the father. Matter of fact, can I prove that to you? That's an apocrypha. What's my apocrypha?
I'll give you one.
Okay. I'll read it.
You got yours?
Yeah. That because so Rothschild really goes back to child means red child. Okay. Or red shield, which I'm sorry, child means, if you break down shield, it goes back to the word etymology, goes back to the word child, which your child's supposed to be that shield for the father, protect you. So red child, what's the word red child? Esau.
Yeah, it's Esau. Red all over like a hairy garment. Okay, this is why and when you go back to Esau, matter of fact, what I did too. When you go back to the word Esau, it means wasted away is he, I Shashua. And yeah, good, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I got it. So this is real quick. This is out the Apocrypha, right? Sirach chapter 30, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, verse 1. Let me read. Okay, so it says, he that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastiseth his son shall have a joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth. So like he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Right there it said, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Okay, which means he raises his son the Lord will, a father will teach his son who the right and what's wrong and who his enemies are. These are our enemies, son. And then when you grow up, you are supposed to, keep this and keep our integrity, keep our customs. And remember not to be like these guys, He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, all right? Yeah, because a man who teaches his son the right way, a king, all right? And if he raises him the right way, the other nation is going to be grieved, man, because damn, this guy, he's going to raise his son, but he's just like him. And we still can't take this guy down.
Yeah.
Just like you got that now. Like, for example, in China, what's his name? The guy... Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. North Korea, right? It's like North Korea. He basically is isn't that a shield? His son looks just like him.
Yeah.
And he's carrying on the same agenda that his father did. He's kind of a little bit harder, I believe. I don't know. I got to go into the history then, but he's making threats to America. He's protecting his people like his father raised him to. So Kim Jong-il is a perfect example. His father and his son about like a child. A shield is supposed to be a child's supposed to be your shield, a father's shield. Okay. Again, why? Because that little son is going to protect the kingdom or protect your family.
Yeah.
Right? Because why? When your father dies, you're next in line to represent your father.
Right.
It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. You see? Just like Kim Jong-il. I hate to use an example, but or even you use King David and King Solomon. When King David was alive, what did he do? He laid down the foundation of King Solomon, but raised up King Solomon to be, through the Spirit of the Lord, to be that next king, and to carry on the kingdom. It says, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. All right? A perfect example is King Jamil, that situation. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
Yeah, real quick, and that's what Esau did when he passed down to his children. He told them the story of what happened between him and his brother, man. All right, and that's why to this day these Edomites have a perpetual hatred. And when I talk about Edomites, just let anybody, if they come to the chat, these Edomites are talking about the white race, the white nation. This is why they have such a perpetual hatred against you so-called Native Americans, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Negroes, man. All right, because these people are biblical arch enemies. All right, to this day. That's why you have white people saying, "Oh, that was the past. Oh, get over it." Oh, you have people in the MAGA hats talking about, "Oh, we're black Hebrew." It's like we're a hate group. But instead of us letting you know that you're the Edomites and letting them know what they've done to us, that you've hurt us, that you've murdered, raped, robbed, and murdered our people, okay, and we want something, and we're letting you know how wicked you are, all right? You people, instead of taking heed to what we're saying, you come back and say that we're a hate group, okay? Wouldn't anybody hate anybody that kills their family?
Yeah, we're the victims, man. You're not the,
Okay, and that's another a sign that you so-called white people, you Edomites, are bugged the hell out. Okay, that's a psychological imbalance, man. Okay, because how are you gonna turn yourself into the victim when you're the predator?
Yeah, and the victim means basically, I don't know if we did a show, I forget, but victim means basically to beat down and slaughter and sacrifice and to kill
I think we did do
and to oppress. So who are the true victims? For you to be a victim, you have to be killed down and oppressed and beat down. You so-called white people, you're by far not beat down. You're not oppressed. All right, you're not being killed. You're not sacrificed. All right, it's the children of Israel that be constantly being beat down and killed. It's all throughout history. Right. And who's done it? Who's killed and beat down and raped and oppressed the children of Israel? None other than the so-called white man. You Esau, Edom. Right. You have. So you're not the victims. You can't be because you haven't been killed. Exactly. You will be a victim though. Yep. You will be. You can claim victim in the kingdom of heaven though, because in the kingdom of heaven you're gonna be beat down. All right, beat down or oppressed. Right, sacrificed, killed. You're gonna be the victim in the kingdom though.
Because the question is this: how is it that somebody that's weaker than us are able to be now above us and now to slaughter us? It's because why? The Lord gave them the position. The Lord gave them the earth, man. All right, they're in a position of power, and that's why they're able to do what they're doing towards us, man. Remember, all these amendments and these constitutions are based to keep you so-called blacks and Native Americans down, man. Okay, you can only get but to a certain level. All right, you'll never be able to sit across the table, okay, with one of these Edomites. All right, okay, and to let you know the Edomites, and to let you know the Edomites plan on wiping you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans up out of here.
That's right.
Okay, and anybody who doesn't want to follow the New World Order or get with the game plan, guess what they're doing? Your head's gonna get cut off. Okay, via the RFID chip, which is a way of them controlling the sons of Jacob, man.
Con. This is like I said, he left behind an avenger against his enemies. So that was a point proving that the word Rothschild, child goes back to shield, and a child's supposed to protect his, is a representative of his father, and, carry on tradition.
Con. So now I got something real quick. When I went into the blue letter, right? And when you go into Edom, it's Hebrews 1:2-3, Edom, right? And it says Edom, Idumean, descendants of Esau. All right. Now check this out. it says Edom, the son of Isaac, twin brother. More, it says the descendants of Edom, i.e., the Edomites or Idumeans. Now, catch this. When you and I challenge anybody to do this, right? I challenge you. When you look up the Herodian dynasty, okay? But going back to Herod the Great, there was a dynasty between the Herods, the Herodians. Now, the Herodians, okay, were white people, so-called white people that had jurisdiction over the Jews. All right. Now, when you go into the Wikipedia and you go into Herodian dynasty, it says this. It says the Herodian dynasty was a royal dynasty of Idumean, Edomite descent. Now, if you want to, now what you could do is, right, you could just go and in your secular history, who was Herod? Who was Herod the Great? Now, just like our apostles, Apostle Tahar, he just looked up in Wikipedia and showed one of the Antipater, or one of the, because he was part of the Herodians. When you go to Antipater, because Herodian's father, when you go back to Herod the Great's father, it goes back to, I don't want to be wrong about it, but you got to go into it. Antipater, all right, and all these other Caesars, okay, were part of the Herodian dynasty and the Roman Empire, man. Okay, so it says here the Herodian dynasty was a royal dynasty of Idumean Edomite descent, ruling the Herodian kingdom, and later the Herodian, it says the Herodian tetrarchy as vassals of the Roman Empire. Now the question is this: what color were the people that ruled the Roman Empire? Matter of fact, what color were the Herodians? Now, when you go into it, the Herodians in the Roman Empire were so-called white people, man. Edom, Idumeans. Okay, this is how you Edomites are being searched out, man. Because right now the truth is being the truth that's been so long hid. Okay, it's being revealed, man. Okay, the Lord is revealing you devils, man. You so-called white people, because you like to brag about saying you're the Romans. You like to brag about saying you're the Greeks.
Yeah, they brag. They even say they're saying they're us.
And they're saying they're us.
You look at a King David movie. Who do you see?
Yeah.
You know, you see someone who has blue eyes, you know, and stringy hair, saying that. And, oh well, excuse me. You look at all the movies of the Lord, man. I mean, you know, these people are devils, man. What do you think the Lord? You know, what do you think the comeback of the Lord meant when He came back? He was going to reveal the lies.
Yep.
All right. So a lot of stuff had to be revealed, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when you go into it, going back to why you got a lot of these so-called these rats over there in our land, why they think that they're the Jews, it goes back to the Herodian dynasty, because it says right here, right? It says the Herodian dynasty began with Herod the Great, right? When Herod the Great was a major demon who assumed the throne of Judah. Because what Herod the Great, that demon, what he did was he married an Israelite woman, man.
Yeah.
Okay, and then had a fucking tear. All right. But that's what these devils did. That's what the Roman Empire did. The Roman Empire had Edomites to place over the children, the children of Israel, okay, to rule over them, okay, and to make sure that shit was running order, man. There's always been a battle between Jacob and Esau. This is what this whole existence is about. All right, and when you go into the Hasmonean dynasty, which is basically our people that was fighting against the Edomites, man, which is the Herodian dynasty, going back to Greek, Alexander the Great. All right, and then when you go to Alexander's father was Philip the Macedonian, man.
Yeah.
All right, and when you go trace their lineage, man, just like the apostle said, yo, it's right. It shows you right there. Their whole lineage.
I got something. I got something about lineage. This is an excerpt from the Standard Jewish Encyclopedia from 1890. It was published in editor-in-chief by Roth Cecil, 1899 to 1970. Publication date 1962. It says about the Edomites. It says the Edomites were conquered by John Hyrcanus, right?
Oh, okay.
It says who forcibly converted them to Judaism. This is after the 8th century.
Wow.
Remember Kagan Bulin?
Yeah. Oh, you're reading that now?
About the Khazars.
Yeah.
He converted them around the 8th century. This is them, and it says the Edomites were conquered by John Hyrcanus, who forcibly converted these Edomites to Judaism, and from then on they constituted a part of the Jewish people. Herod being one of their descendants.
You see?
Yeah,
Because what happens is our people conquer these damn devils, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. John Hyrcanus was he was a Levite, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm not too sure, but he was an Israelite. And what happened when they conquered these damn devils, these Edomites, all right? They forced them to follow their to follow our customs, man. To the point where you got these devils walking around over here.
Well,
no, slack
I believe he had to be a Khazar, because it said they converted them into Judaism, right? And you know, Herod, he was what, a tear?
Yeah,
right?
he was a tear.
I gotta read some more of this.
Okay.
Before you know.
Yeah, come.
Okay.
All right, but real quick, so it says the Herodian dynasty began with Herod the Great. Now, when you go into Herod the Great, it says Herod, also known as Herod the Great or Herod the First, was a Roman client king of Judea. Going back to what the elder was saying, man, this whole thing is set up to oppress the children of Israel, even back then. Because Herod the Great was set up by who? The Roman Empire.
And it was also to trick them too, because the Israel thought he was actual. You know, they thought he was Jake.
Yeah.
They thought he was Judah.
Yep.
But he wasn't. It was a tear. If correct from wrong.
Yeah, it says
they thought he was
yeah, he was a tear because of going on the mother's side. All right, it says
yeah, he wasn't an Israelite.
Exactly.
Damn demon, Edomite.
It says the history of his legacy has polarized opinion, as he is known for his colossal building projects throughout Judea, including his expansion of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, the construction of Port Caesarea Maritima. Basically, he's a wicked ass nigga, all right. And he was setting up temples and and really vexing the children of Israel, man. Putting on giving us heavy taxes, all right. When Howard Shaw came in the scene, all right, they killed all the men, all right, all the boys from a certain age, man, all right. So these people were the Herodian dynasty. There's some real devils, okay. But the Herodian dynasty goes back into what? They are descendants of Edom. That was it on that one, brother.
Okay.
So go into detail of that.
I had okay.
Because I could go into more, but it's gonna take.
Yeah, I guess we'll finish up soon. We'll finish it soon. Yeah. So did you finish Genesis or?
Yeah, let's keep. Let's go. Let's bring scripture. So
Let's
we're gonna
finish
go.
out.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. Yeah, finish Genesis. Finish
We
Genesis.
explained
Real
the
quick.
Khazars already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on both.
But I want to go into Esau's characteristic real quick.
Okay.
So go to 25 real quick, Slack.
Did you mention the 13th tribe book at all? Or?
Yeah. A matter of fact, yeah, Slack. Let me go into that 13th tribe book real quick. So like.
I guess because the 13th tribe, was written by Arthur Tesler or something.
Yeah, Arthur
Koestler. That's another great book, that exposes Esau. Like you go into how they changed the book too, also to try.
Yeah, because what they did was because the book was very expensive. Because this guy mysteriously died all of a sudden. All right, after he wrote the book, but there was two different. They took certain pages out. The original 13th tribe. Okay. But we know how these devils are. But I got the Lord, through the power spirit of Yahweh Shemi Abshai, one of the brothers, one of the elders, Barack Abar sent me this book, and this is called the 13th Tribe, Arthur Koestler, and it says the Khazar Empire and its heritage. All right. So when you go into, it says here the rise and fall of the Khazars. All right. Now it says, let me get into it real quick. Now it says here, about the time when Charlemagne was crowned emperor of the West, the eastern confines of Europe between the Caucasus and the Volga were ruled by a Jewish state known as the Khazar Empire. Okay? But these people came from the Caucasus. Now when you go into Edom, and when you go into the description of Edom, they dwelt in Mount Seir. All right? It says here, and it's going to prove to you that these people were Edomites. The Khazars were Edomites, but they converted into Judaism, man. Now, it says here, let me try to get the, it says here, the Byzantine emperor and historian Constantine for Gentis, 1930 to 1959, must have been well aware of this when he recorded in his treatise on court protocol the letters addressed to the Pope in Rome, and similarly those to the Emperor of the West. He had a gold seal worth 2 solidi attached to them, whereas messages to the king of the Khazars displayed a seal worth 3 solidi. this was not flattery, but real political. In the period which we are concerned, will bury, it is probable that the Khan of the Khazars was of little less importance in view of the imperial and foreign policy than Charles the Great and his successors. It says the country of Khazars are people of Turkish stock, and that's what I want to get to.
Yeah. I'm sorry. In that book, it probably says it. Go ahead.
No.
It's gonna say it.
You want to say something?
Well, I mean, yeah. In that book, it might just say it. It might say the next line that most of these people in our land in Israel, all right, these fake Jews that call themselves Jewish, 90% of those people in that land, 90% of all fake Jews in the world go back to the Khazar Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I know that book says that. That's what
Yeah.
I don't know if we cover that.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
Heavy.
So these people call themselves Jews. These are a bunch of lowly dog Edomites, man, and their dirty line goes back to the actual Khazar Empire, which is obviously the race of Esau, man. Like we're breaking out. Okay. Again, 90% of people who call themselves Jewish, that dog race, starting with the Rothschilds, they go back to the Khazar Empire, which goes into the Turkish area too.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Khazar Empire was in Turkey.
Yeah.
Turkish Edomites. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says here. So check this out, right?
They're a bunch of frauds, man.
Yeah, they're frauds, man. These people are frauds.
Counterfeits. Well, not even counterfeit. They're just devils, man.
Yeah, because matter of fact, Arthur Koestler said if the Jewish people,
That's right, yeah.
if the Jewish people today are the Israelites, they must be the 13th tribe because the 12 tribes of Israel are black.
That's right. Because the 13th tribe title is an ironic. He's being ironic.
Yeah.
He's saying there ain't no 13th tribe.
Yep.
That's what the titles really mean between the lines.
Yeah, it says so. It says.
Right.
What was that? Okay, it says the country of the Khazars are people of Turkish stock.
Yeah.
Which are Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says occupied a strategic key position.
Yeah.
See, at the vital gateway between the Black Sea and the Caspian. It says where the great Eastern powers of the period confronted each other. What were the great Eastern powers at the time? There was something called the Holy Wars, where basically you had the Christians versus the Muslims.
Yeah.
All right. So it says here.
Which Muslim is, by the way, is a made religion by the Roman Catholic Church, and it's a pagan religion from the Byzantine Empire. The Roman Catholic religion stems from the Council of Nicaea, I believe. All right, and that's where you had Saint Augustus. Saint Augustus wrote 2 books. I think God, something Dogma, and another book that is the combination of we call the Quran today, and of course the Quran stole stuff from the Bible too.
Yeah, so it says because it goes into real good information. It says here was vital gateway between the Black Sea and Caspian, where the great powers of the period confronted each other. It acted as a buffer protecting the Byzantium against invasions by the lusty barbarian tribesmen of the northern steppes, Bulgars, Magyars, Pek, Guinness, etc. And later the Vikings and the Russians. It said, but equally, and it says Vikings and the Russians. That's why they get the word as we go into Yiddish. But the original Vikings were Israelites.
Yeah.
Okay, because all these people do is
steal.
They steal, man.
Like Genesis said, they're vagabonds, man.
Yep. So it says here, or even more important, both from the point of view of the Byzantine diplomacy and of European history, and going back to the Byzantine diplomacy, that's going back to the time of when our people was ruling during the Byzantine era or the Dark Ages. Okay, because at that time we was coming out of power. It says here, and thus prevented the Muslim conquest of Eastern Europe. Professor Dunlop of Columbia University, a leading authority of history of the Khazars, has given a concise summary of this decisive yet virtually unknown episode. The Khazar country lay across the natural line of advance of the Arabs within a few years of death of Muhammad, which is used a fake prophet, not even a prophet, he's a heathen. All right, AD 632, the armies of Caliphate sweeping northward through the wreckage of 2 emperors and carrying all before them reached the Great Mountain Barrier. So what is Great Mountain Barrier of the Caucasus? Now what it's basically talking about is that these people got to a point where the Khazars was at. they was running to friction with the Muslims, and they was running to friction with the Christians. So they had to. So what they did strategically did was they took our religion, okay, because that was the best stance to be on. But when you go into it, it says here. Let me get to it. It says our investigation cannot go into problems pertaining to history of ideas, but we must call the reader's attention to the matter of the Khazar's kingdom state's religion. Khazar kingdom's state religion. It was the Jewish faith which became the official religion of the ruling strata of society. You see? Okay, so these people converted into Judaism, man.
Because they know that they. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go.
No, because they know they had the Jewish religion, so-called the truth of the Bible, the truth of the Israelites and their customs is the most influential, powerful, so-called religion out there, which is not a religion, by the way. But they knew they can control the people by this truth, and that's what they're doing. You know?
Right. Check this out. Right. I'm just gonna skip to certain parts. Right.
Yeah, because we.
Yeah. So real quick, it says the Turkish-speaking Karaites or Khazarites, a fundamentalist Jewish sect, Jewish sect of the Crimea, Poland, and elsewhere, have affirmed a connection with the Khazars, which is perhaps confirmed by evidence from folklore and anthropology as well as language. There seems to be a considerable amount of evidence attesting to the continued presence in Europe of descendants of the Khazars, meaning you people up there in our land, you admit that you descend from Europe, but you go back to the Khazarian Empire, which we just read here that you people converted because you were forced by the Arabs, which was Ishmael, and by the Christians, all right, to be in in Judaism, man, all right, and you transferred, you took your language. All right, and mix it in with our language. Well, wasn't you didn't mix it with Lashwan Kadash, but that's where the word Yiddish comes from, man. Okay, because it's predominantly Polish and Russian and German. Okay, but that's just a little bit because I can. This has a whole bunch of stuff, but
yeah,
I just want to go and to let you know that to let the people know that these Khazars, which is of European stock, all right, converted, all right, into Judaism. Right around 740 AD, because they were forced to, all right, because they were moving moving from Turkey, all right, into going to different lands, but to expand themselves. Doesn't the scripture say that that Esau spreads himself like a green bay tree, all right? But that was it on that. I don't want to.
Okay. Khan. So yeah, basically the Khazars are Edomites. Okay, I'm referring to the last script here. This is 2 Thessalonians. We got to bring this out 2:8. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and they shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay. Actually, should I start? Yeah, I'll start it. Yeah, shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which started with the prophets. Okay, that's how you know the Lord's coming, by his prophets going on out there. Jeremiah 20:8. All right. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, meaning the way this man's going to come, he's going to come, which Satan means adverse, he's going to come in the works of being adverse or against the truth, of the truth of the Bible, the truth of Yahweh Shemai Shai, or the truth of who the Israelites are. So how is the wicked going to be revealed? Through all his ways, all his demonic ways, that attribute to being a damn devil and going against everything that's truth. So the people who call them Jews, they're not the real Jews. That's a lie. So that points out them, right? Starting right there. The convincing the whole world that the Lord is looks like a pale face or a strong dog stringy hair, and so on and so forth. Okay, it says even him in iconoclasm. Okay. Who did that? The so-called white man. He's the one, and that's actually the work of Satan, because that's against the truth. When you whitewash, that's against the truth. That's being satanic.
Why is there even a word called whitewash?
Yeah, yeah. Should have done it. Well, there's whitewash because he did it.
Yeah, exactly.
It says, even whom was coming after is a working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonder. The all power is he has the power to manifest his lies, because he has all the power, starting with the Renaissance period, starting with the Bourgeois, which believed the Rothschilds The international bankers are the family of the Borgias reincarnated.
Yep.
You know, so how do they have the power to do this? Because they're in rulership.
Yep.
And
it
it says,
like real quick, and they have power to change history. That's what we've seen that they're doing. They try to change history. They put their faces.
well, that's the manifest part. You know, that's them manifesting their lives. And it says in signs, okay, which they can brainwash you and create any kind of image to convince the people to do whatever. And it says in lying wonders, okay? They're the ones that create the hollow hoax. That's a lie. The moon landing, lie. Overall, what the Most High and the Lord look like, that's a lie, okay? The truth is the so-called black powers, okay? So the so-called black entities, which is the truth. We look like Yahweh Shemai Shai, the nation of Israel. It says, and with all deceivableness and of righteousness. So how is this man going to come? He's going to come with all deceivableness. Yep. Who is responsible for the moon landing hoax? Right. Who's responsible for the Holocaust, which is called show business? Mm-hmm. Who's responsible for lying about the children of Israel, who they are, saying we're from Africa when we're not? Mm-hmm. The so-called white man. It says of unrighteousness. That's unrighteous. This man's the devil. He's wicked, and he blasphemed against the Most High and the Lord, man. And it says, and them that perish. And that's pretty much it.
I got something real quick, Slacker, real quick. Just got to get one point real quick, right? It says, check this out, right? This is from 13. Real quick, yeah. It says, how important in quantitative terms is the presence of the Caucasian sons? So Caucasian sons of Japheth in the tents of Shem. One of the most radical propounders, and the sons of Japheth are not Edomites, all right? They kind of go, it's a little bit bones in here, but. It says the most radical propounders of the hypothesis concerning the Khazar origins of Jewry is the professor of medieval Jewish history at Tel Aviv University, A.N. Polyek. His book, Khazaria in Hebrew, was published in 1944 in Tel Aviv, and a second edition in 1951. In his introduction, he writes that the facts demand a new approach both to the problem of the relations between the Khazar Jewry and other Jewish communities, and to the question of how far we can go in regarding this Khazar Jewry as the nucleus of the large Jewish settlement in Eastern Europe. The descendants of this settlement, those who stayed where they were, those who immigrated to the United States and to other countries, those who went to Israel, constitute now the large majority of the world Jewry. Meaning what? These people converted there. These people, the government, which the bankers, which are Edomites, set these other Edomites in our land, placed them there, just so what? Just so they could confuse the children of Israel, man. Going back to what we're saying again before, this whole battle is between Jacob and Esau. All right, and we're casting down the covering cast that's been for so long been covered upon the people. All right, you people over there in that land, in our land, is not the real Jews, man, and it's written by your own people. Okay, we know that the bankers set you because there was a documentary I looked at real quick, and they got the whole Declaration of Independence, not Declaration of Independence, the League of Nations, the signature, the Balfour Declaration, what's it called?
Balfour Declaration.
The Balfour Declaration. He has it all nice and bright. Hey, see, we're the ones that did this, and we set Jews up, Israel to be a state and everything else, because that was to what? That was part of your plan, okay? To basically to kick out the children of Israel, go like 70 AD, and to put yourself in there, all right, and place yourself as God, all right, and the children of Israel in that land, man, which is a great deception, okay? But right now, the Lord has His sons, okay, breaking down the strongholds, man, and revealing who the wicked is, okay? You so-called white people are the Edomites. All right, and you're being revealed, and the Bible doesn't speak too well about you. Matter of fact, the Bible says that the same people that you had in slavery are the same people that's going to put you in slavery. All right, so
all right, all right. So with that, basically, going into exposing who Esau and Edom is, we pray that people are edified, bringing out this truth through the Spirit of Yahweh Shemai Shai, and you damn devils, man. You being revealed, simple as that, So, obviously it's over for you, and that's that, and it's gonna keep on getting worse. You're gonna keep getting revealed. It's so bad that even like Apostle R said, you Edomites are waking up and revealing your own goddamn self, which is the power of the Lord. Yep. Your skirts being lifted up, and your downfall has been beginning since 1969, right? So we're at the end now, And it's gonna get worse for you damn devils. Alright? And you 2/3 too, but we're exposing Esau. So you're the dogs, you're the basis of men, you're nothing but animals, red bacteria, bases, pieces of shit. And you're a walking piece, you're a walking plague. You're not the object of beauty. Your blue eyes are decrepit. It's defective. It's a curse. Your blonde hair is a curse. Your skin's a curse. Your whole mentality is a curse. And you're a curse. You're a plague. All right? Start with your Rothschilds, your old race. All right? And the Most High is going to come back and put you damn devils into slavery, which is biblical prophecy, man. So Esau's still here. All right? Vocab. All right? And you're going into slavery too, man. And you terrorists. All right? You intruder Israelite. Intruder Israelites. Herod's a terror. Anyway, you know, anyway, with that, we like to say all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to kinetic elders of GMS. Peace and salutations to the brothers in this country and all the world. Prophets and the true name. And shalom to the brothers in the comment board.
Shalom.
Okay, shalom, Makim. Okay, and next time. Shalom.